Hey everybody. This one will be a little bit shorter, just to, I don't know how to put that, just to record the build for a guy who's really been helping me out a lot through all this time that I'm doing this as a hobby. He's been supporting me a lot, so we'll be making Bumblebee XL mic customs with a stag handle. Mike is quite picky, I would say, about how he wants his stag handle to look, which is good because it's giving me challenges, and challenges are always good for the growth. So without further ado, Bumblebee XL mic custom. First, grind to the shape. As I said before, it's not a nuclear science, but it's a make or break of a knife. Sketch versus a real shape. So let's go. What happened, you ask? Well, I was thinking I could still use this belt, but it's way too worn out. The grinding would take too long. The steel would heat too much, so let's try another one. I used the already used belts just to save a little bit on the material, because the sharp edges just tend to wear the belts down much faster. So let's see how this one works. deviation from the original line. It will be a nice firm grip. Essentially it's a Bumblebee with a Wolverine handle. So where you would in hunting, you would be, you know, hunting, use it to clean up the game. The blade doesn't necessarily need to be huge, but firm grip, it's a must, so you can do all the work. Now we will drill the holes for the pins, and then we will also drill the holes in the scales in the antler, because with the wood, because wood is flat, I can put it like this and I can drill. As the antler is curved, I have no way of putting it to be, you know, perpendicular to the drill bit, and then a whole bunch of unpleasant things can happen. So I will show you what I do and how in the next video. So the holes are drilled, have the nice shape that we want. Now the scales. People sometimes, you know, wonder why the stack scales cost, you know, more than the wooden ones, or even micarta and stuff like that. You can see this antler, it's bent like that. In this way, you know, if I would say, okay, this is straight, and then I look, it's not thick enough to cover this, well, eventually this one could be. But the problem is that once I start thinning it down, it also shrinks in the width, so it becomes very tricky. So out of the complete, you know, the big antler, you just get these smaller sections, and with this there's nothing to do with that. You know, eventually you can give it to a pet for chew on it. I hear it's healthy for them, but anyway, for the knife making, it's, you know, you cannot use it. We will see though if this one would be okay. So we will try. So I will mark roughly where I want it to end. Just give it a little bit extra. So let's say would be something like this. Okay, and let's see if we can make a scale out of that. First we will cut it on a bandsaw, then we will cut it in half, and then we will thin it down. I hope that will work okay. Okay, let's go. Let's see where my mark is. Okay, to see it from this angle, and I know. But I did it so many times. I was never in any real danger, but yeah, don't do it like that. Anyway, we have two sides, but now, as you can see, we have to thin this down significantly. Now we go back to the grinder, but looks nice, even though I see a little bit of the bend in this one. Need to figure out how to put it on the blade now. I think this will be the front, this will be the end, and then we will see.